today we will cover your journey from US to India. You have returned back to India after spending 2 years in USA, and you are back now in India. So we have some questions around that. So firstly, we want to ask what was the one financial mistake that cost you most money when returning from US to India?
I would say the financial mistake that cost us a lot of money was, I would not say cost us a lot of money. I would say we should have been better prepared for that, is keeping some liquid money available because in this shift, there are a lot of things that happen last minute. A lot of things can get delayed, and you never know when you might need a big chunk of money. So
Okay.
that is something that we should have planned better around.
Okay. You had a house in the US. Did you sell it or rent it out? Break down the numbers for us. Which option actually makes more money after all taxes?
So I was in the US for 2 years, and my wife was from there, and then I went back again there for 1 year during COVID, and we ended up buying a house. So at that time, the interest rates were very low, so the affordability to buy a house was quite accessible. So we ended up buying it, and then when we decided that we are going to come to India, of course, we had this question: do we sell it or do we rent it? What is the best option out? We decided to sell it because we were not sure how we would be able to manage if we were renting it out. Like, if something breaks, light breaks, water leaks, AC breaks, heater breaks, fixing that from the other side of the world was not the responsibility we wanted to take. And there was a significant appreciation in the value of the house. So we decided to sell it. And even though we thought renting might be a good idea, but we ended up selling it.
How did you transfer your US house sale money to India? What is the legal process? How much did bank charge you? Can you
Okay,
avoid that
so
charges?
yeah. So there's a lot of things. I think basically, like we discussed in the previous video, I'm Indian. My wife is a US citizen. So what we thought was the clever way to do is to minimize the paperwork, reduce the red tape, and the taxation being simple and straightforward is whatever. In fact, we started a business in the US also, and we started a business in India. What we did was we kept everything in the US in her name and everything in India under my name. So that made things very, very straightforward for my personal financial reportings, for her personal financial reportings. Everything was extremely straightforward, and we could claim all the benefits that respective countries had to
Resident.
offer. Yeah. So that is what we did. And, when we sold the house, the capital gains tax that we were liable to pay, we were supposed to pay in the next financial year. So in the meantime, we fully bought out another property there with the capital gains that we had. So in India, we have the exchange. Wherever you have the capital gains, if you put it back into real estate, you're not taxed.
Yes.
So we did the same thing. We ended up buying a small apartment unit. We had a big house. We sold that, and the capital gains was enough to buy a small apartment unit, a condo, two-bedroom condo. So that way we were able to avoid the capital gains tax, and that we were able to fully rent out, and we had no EMIs or no mortgage on that because it was fully paid for. And the money, the leftover money that we had, or whatever other savings that we had accumulated in the US, which we needed in India. So what ended up happening is my wife opened an NRO and an NRE account. We have these two bank accounts in India. So she opened those accounts, and via those accounts, she was able to transfer all of the money from the US to India, to her bank account in India. And whatever investments we made in India, she brought it through there. And if she wanted to transfer it to me, then it would show as a loan, like a personal loan from my wife to me. And then I could use it for my business, or she could use it in hers. And that is how we try to keep it very simple and straightforward to keep everything in the US with her, everything in India with me.
Now you kept your US company and started an Indian company. Why? How does this save you money?
So it doesn't necessarily save us money. We wanted to start a company in both countries. So we ended up doing that. Again, like I told you, we kept the US company under my wife's name and one in India under my name. We wanted to start a company in India. So eventually we ended up doing that. But just now that she has an OCI and PAN card and other and everything, it's easier now for her to be assigned shares to that company or have partnership in that company. But initially, that is not something we wanted to do because it would attract unnecessary paperwork, red tape, bureaucracy, and all of that. So we kept it separate. Another thing is wire transfer fees, like you asked, how did you save money on that? So a lot of banks in the US, when you're transferring a huge sum of money, say $100,000, they charge you a significant, like, not significant. For us Indians, it could be significant, it could be $75, $100 per transaction. So a lot of banks there have a premium membership tier. Like in India, we have levels of banking, like HDFC Bank, for example, as Infinia, Imperia, all those things. So there, what we did was for 1 month, we joined a premium membership plan, which is paid for. Like we have to pay an extra some
Okay.
$30 per month. We had an account with Wells Fargo, and that allowed us to make unlimited international transfers at zero cost. So once we had transferred all of our money, we canceled the membership. So that way we could move all of our money from the US to India under the premium banking membership. And that way we were able to avoid a lot of charges. Premium membership gave us better forex rates. And once we had transferred whatever chunk of money we wanted to India, we closed that membership. So that is something a lot of people can consider. The banks will tell you that you can upgrade this for this much time, and after it's done, you can go back to whatever you do.
You said your US business are on your wife's name.
Yeah,
So now she is resident in India.
yeah.
Like, so now how she's paying taxes? Like she's paying in America, she's paying in India. This is the major concern everyone have.
So the US business is registered with my wife, so she is paying taxes for that business in the US. And that business remains there. The taxes are filed there. They're not reported here, they're just filed there and kept there. The business in India, I file the taxes for that, and I'm liable to pay for that. And it is filed under my name, and the taxes are paid in India. These companies are independent of each other. So that way, the local state tax or the county tax or the federal tax, whatever's relevant in the US, is paid for over there. And here, I do the same thing. These companies don't, uh, they're independent operations of each other.
Here's I have a doubt. Like she is a resident now in India.
Yeah.
So she must be liable for Indian taxes as well. Like she is the resident and she need to pay other countries payment taxes here in India as well.
She has to pay taxes for her income in India. If she does any business in India and she has any income in India, she has to pay taxes for that.
No, no, no. Actually, after becoming resident, she need to
Mhm.
pay all over incomes in taxes in India.
True, yes. But she does not have any income in India as of now. All the income that she has is in the US. So the business in the
Okay.
US is run by her. She doesn't have any income in India as of now. So while she has to file the taxes, she has to report all of her income. She has to report if she has any, say, interest income, dividend income, all those things. When she files for US taxes, she has to report all these things. But otherwise, she does not have any income in India.
Okay. Now, what happened to your 401k retirement account when you moved back? Like, can you withdraw it or can you please let me
Yeah,
know
you
how
can
you
still
handled it?
withdraw it. Yeah. So my wife has a 401k account. So with her previous employers, they had the relevant plans for 401k. So that is still there. You can still withdraw it once it reaches maturity. You can still withdraw it.
If you have Apple, Google stocks in the USA, what happens when you become Indian resident? How is this taxed? Should you sell before returning to India or keep them?
So we ended up keeping them.
Okay.
Again, like I told you, it is in my wife's account. As you know, US DMAT portfolio is in her account. Indian DMAT portfolio is in my account. So we ended up keeping them, and as it turns out, lately in the last 2 3 years, it seems like that was a good decision.
Now, can you work for a US company remotely from India? How does salary taxation works?
So that depends again, company to company. Like my wife did that for a while, and she had to seek
Okay.
permission from that company to work remotely in India. So the appropriate approvals are given to her, and she could work for a certain period of time in India. Sorry. Uh, again, it depends how the employer is structured to pay you. A lot of times you can be paid in India, but then you have to report that income in India also. If you've been in India for a significant amount of time, then you have to report it in India because now you're considered a tax resident of India. So it depends from company to company. There are people who work remotely and they are paid in their US or Canadian bank accounts, but they work from India, but then it's for a short time, then they again leave, so then they're not relevant for any liability of taxation in India. So it depends what kind of work the company is giving, how the company is structured, if it has an office or a jurisdiction in India, can they pay you in India, can they pay you in the US. So the company that my wife was working for had offices in India, US, and many other countries. So it
Okay.
was possible for her to do that.
Now, do you still have your US bank accounts? Do you need to report them to Indian tax department?
So we still have our US bank accounts. Mine I've closed. I don't have any
Okay.
US bank accounts as of now. I just have one credit card, which I'm an add-on user to from my wife, like spouse. So, and she has her US bank accounts and she reports everything whenever she files her taxes in the US.
Okay.
Her demat portfolio in India, her stocks, her dividend income, whatever she's getting in India, she has to report it in the US. And US being one of those countries where, irrespective of whether you're staying there or not, you still have to file taxes every year in the US. So even if my wife stays in India for 10 years nonstop, she still has to file taxes every year in the US. It's one of the two countries I think that you are required to
Pay
report
taxes on.
and file taxes, yeah, based on your citizenship, not based on your residency.
Okay. Now, like your wife is not paying any taxes in India, right? As of now?
She pays taxes on whatever, like I said, if there's any dividend income, interest
Okay.
income, all of those things,
Okay.
the TDS is deducted, and the RCA prepares a certificate that mentions that this money, if we want to transfer it back to the US, the tax for that has been paid for in India. So she's
Okay.
not liable to pay for that in the
Yeah,
US
that can be
based on
claimed.
her,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
DTAA.
double
Okay.
tax.
So
Exactly.
have you met with any DTAA chances, like any your scenario? Have you faced that?
No, no, we have not faced that, not yet. No.
Okay.
We do have a chartered accountant. My father is a CA. He now has our taxes done, the ones in India, by him only. So everything is looked after by him. We just know that this is what we need to submit, and then the necessary approvals are done.
If someone is in the US today planning to return back to India, what's your one financial advice that could save them the most money?
I would say, like a few hacks. Like I told you, you can consider having a premium membership if you want to move some money into India. And the way the situation is, you should always, I would say, have some assets in foreign currency. It sometimes can help, especially if it's a strong foreign currency. It can help you because things, the rates, your currency may depreciate, their currency may become better. So if you have some money over there, some assets over there, consider leaving something over there instead of moving everything away.
Like if someone is planning to return to India, like what things you suggest people to prepare while returning back to India?
So I would say returning back to India, first come to India before coming to India for the long term. Come and visit India, see if it suits you, because this is a huge move. You can't keep doing this once every month. Come and see if there is a work environment that is suitable for you. You have a business opportunity here. Look into the long-term aspects of it. Can you get a house here? Can you rent here? Is it within your budget? See all those things, and then when you move, like you told you, we should have done this better. Is keep some money, cash handy, because the sale of our house got delayed, and there was one point that we had to stay the last few days because the sale of the house got delayed in escrow in the US. So the last few days we had to stay with my wife's parents. Now, not everybody has a family member there. You might have to leave the country sooner because not everybody has two or three homes. You might have to stay in a hotel for a little bit. And since we were traveling with our pets, so there was a lot of variables. Like we could not immediately leave till their medical thing was done and all that. So keep some money handy because you never know. Some things might get delayed. Some things might cost you more money. Last minute changes, any of that, and keep some funds in both places because if you are a person who've been in multiple countries, you know the economics of multiple countries. So don't put all your eggs in one basket is something that I think paid off well for us. We kept some things over there. We kept a small condo. We kept some stocks, and they seem to have done well in the last 5 to 6 years. I would say these would be the largest things, and come and see before taking the jump.
Thank you, Tanay, for your valuable time. It will help a lot of NRIs who are returning back to India.
Thank you.
Thank you.